want to be creating either new product pages, which is what my preference is. I don't necessarily love writing articles in your industry because it's just a little bit too need-driven. It's like, I need new cubicles. I don't want to read an article about why I need new cubicles. I just want someone that offers those services. So I like to put up new product pages that work with purpose. So like introductory paragraph, bullet points that are typically feature benefit driven, and then closing statement. Doesn't mean that you'll never write articles, but just be mindful to start with kind of core product pages. I liken them to salespeople. You know, every page I put up is like a salesperson, and that salesperson's job is to sell the position of that keyword in search engines, and then to begin to develop leads off of that position. And then I've hit on this a few times. Just keep it about who you are, what you do, and where you do it. Don't get real off course with what the content says. I mean, we've seen content where people talk about furry woodland creatures and the type of oak in the region it came from, and that's an actual example. I used to live in these trees, and it's like, is it about the furry woodland creature, or is it about the desk that they made out of that creature's home? So just keep it, as on track as you possibly can. I'm not talking about your blog, by the way. I'm not going to get too deep into this. I have copies of this article if you want it, but it could be a complete waste of time if you think it's going to generate new leads for you. So real quickly, the algorithmic updates. I'm going to skip that. I'm going to go to this. These are the two big ones. Okay, the Panda update is run at least 25 times at this point, and it's not necessarily totally an algorithmic change. It's like a sweep that Google runs across their data centers. And what's interesting about Panda is it does two things. First, it penalizes, and 90% of it is it's a penalizing update. 10% of it is it rewards content. Most updates are strictly penalties, so this one's a little unique. But the Panda update aim is to crack down on websites that have little to no content or very thin content. The big aim is to cut on websites that have duplicate content, which is a huge issue in your industry.
Why?
A lot of they go right to the manufacturer's websites and they take it off of that and they put it on there.
So why is that an issue?
Google, basically their goal is to put relevant listings at the top of search engines.
But I sell their product.
I know, and in Google's eyes, they would rather serve the manufacturer over you. They can't distinguish between those two things.
Does the original
the ultimate consumer can't even buy from them.
I know. I hear what you're saying.
They have to buy from me.
Yeah.
But who gets harmed in that if he copies a Herman Miller website?
99% of the time, it will be the person that copied the website. On rare occasions, Google gets mixed up and penalizes the original author of the content.
Yeah.
Yes.
What happens when we've got project inventories in different parts of the country and we give permission to some people that are here to market our stuff on their website because they're in that marketplace?
Right, so it's like if you're copying technical information, sizes, weights, fabric colors, things like that, you're going to get away with that. If they're going in and you're wholesale moving over 15, 20, 30 pages, you won't get away with that. We always strive towards being original.
What if you just taken a picture of their product?
You're fine with that. Change the name of the picture would be what I recommend. Like just rename it, which is very easy to do, and then Google will never know. Google has not perfected identifying what images came from where at this point. They are working on it though. But actually one of their pushes for 14 is what I'm hearing. So they want original content. They want a lot of it. They want it consistently added to the website. They want it to be descriptive, and in your case, do your best to not duplicate the content. Even if you're rewriting the paragraph and it says the same thing and you just fluffed it up a little bit, fluff it up a little bit. It really becomes that important. That's the biggest update that people are kind of suffering from in your industry. The second biggest one is called the Penguin update. Okay. And the Penguin update, does anyone here already have an internet marketing company or work with an internet marketing company?
Oh, I'm looking.
Well, I know you do. You don't have anything to worry about. It's don't let them link build. And I know that
Don't do what?
let them what's called link build. So if they say, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get you 50 quality links, and I'm going to have a link from their website back to your website. Okay, that is what's called link building. Or I'm going to go, and I know that somebody was here that has some of this going on right now. I'm going to go to all of your friends that are in the business, and I'm going to link to you, and then you're going to link back to me, which is called reciprocal linking. All of that stuff absolutely does not work, and you will be either banned or heavily penalized for engaging in link building.
Quick question. We've got a PM website. At ROE, we've got a company website. I run our PM website, which we don't have pricing on, and it's really for customers' assets and marketing. We have a link at the bottom to, if somebody wants to get into the Row website or go to the Compel catalog. Is that?
You'll be fine with that. So they want natural linking to occur, and that's completely natural. What internet marketing companies do is they engage in unnatural linking, where they're going out and they're trying to get links from everywhere in their mother. And I'll give you some examples. So 2 weeks ago, Expedia lost 25% of their traffic for link building. JCPenney and Overstock.com got hit a couple years ago, and they had links coming in from nuclear energy blogs coming back to little black dress pages, basically. That was the actual example. So if they're engaged in any kind of link building, usually I would say to walk away from it. I mean, we work with a huge healthcare institution in Tampa right now that is being attacked by a third party that's trying to malicious link building, and they basically offered us $500,000 to figure out who it is. It's that big of a deal. So the point in these things is know what your internet marketing company is doing for you for the money. Don't allow them to engage in link building. The links you want, like if Noel ever came to you and said, hey, I'm going to give you a link from my page to your website, take it. Okay? Or Herman Miller or big, big companies. They're never going to offer you that for the most part. When companies get hired to do it, it's almost impossible to do it correctly. We have yet to see it be done correctly. So these are kind of the two big things. I think I got someone trying to get me out the door here, so I'll begin to wrap it up here. If you have any specific questions on this, track me down. I'll answer for you.
One more quick one. Let's say I want to put his Compel on my website to show my clients
Yeah.
a new desking.
Right.
A link from my site to his site to show that. Bad, good, indifferent.
It won't probably hurt or help you. It would probably help him a little bit. It would hurt you a little bit. But think about what you're saying. It's just about putting the most relevant website at the top of the listing. So apparently your website lacks the information that his contains.
No, his has all the great content and information, and I don't want to spend forever retyping all that beautiful
Right.
information.
And the point still stands in Google's mind. And Google's mind is what's missing from your website is over, all that great content, information, and pictures is over there.
That's the negative.
You're voting, you're essentially casting a vote for him. You really want to do your best, and what's best for everybody is to take what they have, rewrite it, rename the pictures, and put it on your site. Because then you have, he has huge coverage across the web for Compel.
JJ, can you send me all your images?
We'll talk.
Question, how big an impact does social media have organically moving up through, like the Facebooks, the Twitters, and all that type stuff?
Almost zero.
Okay.
Yeah. It's such a tiny amount, it's almost not worth mentioning. The one thing I would do is something called authorship, and it's free. You set it up through Google+. And have you guys seen the pictures of people's faces next to listings on occasions? It's free. It doesn't actually get you more listings, but it can make your listing more obvious, and you can get more clicks. Yeah, it's called Google authorship. If you Google it, it'll pop right up. There.
Great presentation, Chris.
All right, thank you.
Really good.
We're done, so.
One thing, now, I have the WordPress,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know how to do it. It is not as easy as what you guys are saying.
It's,
Well, if it was set up.
yeah, there's two things. Like anything, you can screw it up. So if the company that set it up didn't do a full-blown proper build-out, it can be much harder to use.
Like the widget things, for
Yeah.
instance, she said, oh yeah, you can use all these widgets. Okay, so I go to widgets, click on the widget thing.
They didn't set it up.
I don't know what I'm doing. And
Yeah,
that's
it
the-
has to be
very
set up
hard.
right, is the biggest thing.
So-
You drop your wallet.
I just saw that.
Yeah.
I just started a website and I do log into WordPress, so I own it.
Uh-huh.
And it-
Who hosts it for you?
Boston Web Marketing.
Yeah, I would say the things that we preach it for is never give them access to your URL, never let them host your website, and then put it in WordPress. Because if they host it, they kind of still get you. Now you want that like
If a marketing
separation.
company hosts
Yeah.
it. So you obviously have to host it with other hosting companies,
Mhm.
but you want to be the one to own that.
Right. You want that to be your.
So I don't know if I own.
And hosting only costs a couple $100 a year, so you can set up your own hosting.
Yeah, very easily. Like we work with thousands of companies. We don't host a single website. We'll refer you to
Whoever.
one of three
I don't
people.
know.
So I don't need to pay him $350 a month to host my website.
Holy moly.
No.
That's a lot.
No,
Like,
but you want to make sure that if you're pulling that there's not something else behind the scenes that they are holding on to, that you don't have access to.
I own City Office Furniture, and it's a few thousand pages, tens of thousands of visitors a month. I think I pay $89 a year for hosting. Yeah. There could be something else going on in there because those are like 90s prices.
Well,
right?
I mean,
The good old
you
90s.
came to see me and I was going to stay for like 60 days and you told me he was going to do this wonderful thing for me, and then once it got up, I found out I had to do all the work.
Yeah. It's,
Well,
Yeah.
I want to be able to have access to change the pictures, to change the verbiage, and know how to do it.
yeah. The way that we operate is we do trainings every other Friday. Every other Friday we do trainings on how to work things.
Really?
Yeah. Yep, we're done.
So how do I find out about owning that myself? How do I?
Give me your card and Jacinta will tell you if you own it yourself. Yeah.
Thank you. No problem. What do you think about Register.com being the host? I paid. They're okay. Man. I mean, it's hard to kind of mess up hosting. I mean, yeah. We have tons of people that host with GoDaddy and all sorts of places. I mean, and they don't usually have issues.
Usually when there is an issue, it's with like a GoDaddy or a Register. But it's so rare that it's almost not worth mentioning.
So they're okay.
Yeah.
Big box.
It's like when something bad goes on, it's because on the same box you have like a spammer hosted.
Yeah.
But they're pretty good at cleaning those things up too. It's just
Emails are usually pretty good every once in a while.
Yeah, you guys are.
yeah, and every host goes down.
I think we utilize an existing.
And it's
platform
not.
that was there.
You're probably perfectly fine there.
If I
Yeah.
can recall, because I've been in your backend. Oh, okay.
Well, thank you very much.
There
All right,
are
cool,
some
thanks.
functionality that we showed here today that you may not have in your.
Pass this along.